Okay, so we're recording. All right. All right, welcome everyone. Another team call. I just wanted to say, first of all, give a shout out to everyone for a fantastic month of August. Everyone did really, really great coming back from Summit, and everyone had a great month. I hope you guys all feel like you had a good month. I feel like you created some really good momentum coming into these next couple of months. Now it's just staying consistent with it and building off of what you have already been doing, right? The key here for all of us, anyone that's new, restarting, or as we keep growing ourselves, because we're constantly doing our personal development and we're growing and we're trying new things, then our Facebook is always going to be evolving. And that's really Facebook is kind of your medium. It's your home. It's what you're going to share, how you're going to share yourself and what you want to put out there that represents you, basically. So tonight, I really wanted to go over the vital behaviors, because the vital behaviors are the key to your business. They are. And it took me a long time to really understand that. Like when I first started, probably for the first 6 to 9 months, I was constantly asking people, like, what is it? Like, what is it? Like, how did you do that? How did you do that? Show me how you're doing that. And really, it comes back to being consistent, giving it enough time, and following your vital behaviors. It's really that simple. I mean, there's a lot of hard work mixed in with that, but it really boils down to just that. Being consistent, giving yourself enough time, and really digging into your vital behaviors. The big thing, one of the messages that they kept repeating at Summit as well, another message, there's a lot of messages that they kept repeating at Summit. One of them was being you and being authentic to yourself and not being a copycat. But another one was time. It does get easier. A lot of them said that it does get easier. Right now, as you're building your businesses, you're in the thick of it all, and it does get easier. Like I said before, in the month of August in 2015, I was ready to quit. I was in tears every day. It was so overwhelming to me. I couldn't figure out how to do Canva and PicMonkey. It took me forever to do those. I didn't know how people were doing videos. Like, I just felt so like this was like almost like I was too old for this business. But it wasn't. It was just me and not giving myself enough time and taking the initiative to learn what I needed to learn. But looking back, fast forward a year to this August, and I had a fantastic month of August. I never contacted one person. I mean, I contacted people, but all the people that have signed up with me all reached out to me and wanted my help and wanted to sign up with me. So give yourself the time, because it does start, that transition does start to flip, and you will see more people coming to you, but you have to stay consistent, which comes back to your vital behaviors. So we'll go right into the vital behaviors. Vital behavior number 1 is invite, invite, invite. But what does that really mean? Because everyone talks about inviting and that, but what does it mean? And it means different things to everyone. But to keep it very simple, an invite is through our posts on Facebook or any other social media platform. So what we would call a call out. These call outs, when you post them, they are not meant to really get a lot of interaction. Some people do get interaction and some people don't. Some people you may not even get a comment. That's okay. That is normal. That is very normal. And people need to understand that, because everyone gets freaked out. They do a call out, no one likes it or no one comments on it, and then they stop doing call outs. The point of the call out is to be putting it out there that, hey, I'm doing this. You can come join me. So that when you do contact someone in private, you can then say to them, hey, I'm not sure if you've seen me post about this or not, but I'm about to do a 30-day challenge group, and I really thought it might be something you'd be interested in. Would you like to do it with me? That's the point of those call outs, is to get it out there that, hey, I'm in business. You can join me. You can come do this with me. That's why we do those call outs. The most effective way to invite someone, though, is personally. So either through your Facebook Messenger, email, and the best is face-to-face or on the phone. Those are always going to be your best ones, are face-to-face and on the phone. So if you talk to someone face-to-face every day and you want to invite them, then invite them face-to-face, because it gives that person the opportunity to see your excitement and hear your excitement in your voice. And when you're excited, they get excited and they want to be a part of that, right? And your tone in that, it depends on how you type in Messenger. If you're like Christina, I can tell her tone from her messages as soon as I see them, because she's like emoji everywhere. Like, it's just, but that's the way it needs to be. Your message, before you send a message to someone, say it out loud. Does that message sound like you and the way you talk? If it doesn't, then don't send it, because it's going to seem like a copy and paste, and people can read that on the other end, right? They can get your tone in those things. And then we invite people to paid groups. It's just how you started, or a free group. So again, if you're inviting someone to a paid group, like with their challenge pack, and they say they can't afford it, or they're not ready at this time, or whatever they say, and you can't get past that objection, then the next step would be, okay, great. You know what? I have free groups every now and then that I run. Would you like me to invite you to that next time I have one? And then get them in this free group. Most of the time, pretty much 99% of the time, when anyone gives you an objection like money, it's not money. It really is not. It's one, you didn't show them enough value when you were talking about what you were talking about. You didn't ask them enough questions to get to why they want to do this, or they really don't think they can do it and they're scared. So if you invite them to a free group, it at least gives them the opportunity to see what the group is all about, gives them some quick and easy results, and it shows them that they can do it, and it builds their confidence enough to move into a paid group. All my challengers, but a handful of them, are people that have all been through a detox group of mine. So it may not have been right away. There's some people, like one of the girls in the health bet tonight, she was in my very first detox group way back in May of last year, and she just signed up to do this health bet. She came out of nowhere and said, I want to sign up. So everyone that I've gone through has been in one of my groups along the way. So there is value in those free groups. So inviting consistently. Not everyone says yes the first time. It's about planting seeds. So again, your call outs are about planting that seed, getting that invite out and asking someone to join you. It's planting the seed. The statistic is that it's the fourth or fifth time you follow up with someone that they will say yes. So the consistency has to be there every month, sending out, talking to people. So that's why we say, if you're consistent back in June, sending out all your invites, then those people should be turning into yeses now if you've been consistent in asking them if they want to join. That's the snowball effect, right? It's never going to be, it may not be an immediate return, but down the road, you're planting that seed to come back down the road, right? So, and then here I had done, if these work, I went in to do a bunch of, and it's not, of course not. Of course. I'll post this later as my slide so that you can go through and look at these, but I've gone through into the TNT page if anyone has ever been in there, and there's examples on how to do call outs. Whenever, and Janet touched on this in her branding one yesterday, whenever you're doing a call out or any type of post about coaching or what it is, it should always be the where you were, where you're at right now, and where you're going with it. So where you started out, how did you feel before you found Beachbody and started your program? Where are you at right now in your journey? What are you still struggling with? What are you not struggling with? And then where are you going to go with this, right? And hey, why don't you join me, right? Not every call out has to be an invite either. It's just about planting those seeds. But if you are doing a group, so my next group's on the 26th. So starting next week, I need to be doing my call outs for it. And a call out is not just post it once and then you're done. The call out is at least 3 times a week before you get into that group. So that because not everyone sees your posts at the same time. So if you post at 9 p.m. tonight, maybe do another one in a couple of days at lunchtime, and then maybe a couple of days later you do one at like 6 p.m. at night. Different times you're doing the post so that different eyes can see it. So vital behavior number 2 is being proof the products work. So this one here, if you haven't gotten your results or you don't have before and after pictures yet that you can share, that's your first step, is to commit 100% to your program so that you can get those results. And when you are talking to people, you can speak from experience that, yes, I've tried this and yes, it's worked for me because of this. This is what I struggled with before. And I found just after the first 7 days of drinking Shakeology, it's helped me with this. Probably will help you, right? Be willing to share what you're doing on your personal Facebook page. So you got to think of your Facebook as a daily journal. So you're talking about how you're feeling now compared to how you used to feel. Be willing to share, you itself is the biggest part, what you struggled with before. How are you doing now? Share your bad days and share your good days. And it's not about inviting everyone every day. It's about just documenting what you're doing and what you're struggling with. People connect to what you're struggling with more than what you're doing good. And it means messy stuff. Like, people connect with your struggles and your mess in your life. So don't be scared to show it or talk about it. And what I mean by that is, for some reason, and goes back to a lot of things with women and growing up in that, people don't want to, it's all taboo to talk about like our periods, and it's taboo to talk about, like any kind of cravings, or if we've gained weight. Like, it's taboo to talk about all this stuff. Like, no one talks about this shit, but it's real life. And that's the stuff that people connect with, is real life. People don't like to talk about if they're feeling depressed or, because they're scared of what people might think. But other people are thinking the same way. It affects everyone. And when you're posting on your Facebook, you're only talking to one person. When you talk to everybody, you're talking to nobody. So you have to be specific on what you're talking about. You talk on your Facebook page exactly as if someone was sitting to you on the couch right next to you. That's how you talk to that person. And if that's not how you're posting, then you need to start learning and working on that, because it's about just sharing that stuff. And that's the stuff that people will start connecting with you when you start sharing those things. So again, I've got some other examples of what I mean by those posts. I've done examples for everything. So when I'm done the call, I'll post the slides so that you can take a look at all these examples and go through them all. Vital behavior number 3 is your personal development. And this one's the biggest one. This is a non-negotiable personal development. Again, I can go back and tell you, I learned this one the hard way. When I wanted to quit last year in August, I had not been doing personal development at all. 0 of it. So this is the biggest one. This is the one that gives you the mindset that you believe, that you're feeding your mind, and what you're doing is, the more you share things and the more you become confident in yourself and you start sharing things, it's like a weight comes off your shoulders and you just become more free, right? And personal development is personal to whatever you're struggling with. So if it's time management, your self-confidence, low self-esteem, rejection, maybe you're struggling with talking to people, maybe you're struggling with how to share yourself on your Facebook. That's what personal development is all about, is to help you tap into that and find out what you want to say. Maybe you need to find a book that helps you with conversations. I have a couple of books that I've gone through that's helped me with conversations. Like, I'm not a small talk kind of person. I'm like straight into business all the time, and I need to learn to slow down and talk to people and learn about them. And those are the things that I look for. Rejection's a big thing for me. You know, those are all things that if you need help with any one area, that's what you need to be looking out. And it doesn't have to be a book. You can go to YouTube and YouTube videos, YouTube TED Talks, YouTube, conversations. Like, there's so many Beachbody coaches that have shared everything that they have done with their trainings, that there's so many great videos out there. There's videos on how to put together a good call out for an invite, how to go about inviting people, how to reach out to people. There's all kinds of those videos out there. So again, it should be a non-negotiable every day, 15 to 20 minutes a day. Audio books, for me, the audio books are the best because you can listen to them when you're doing the dishes, when you're taking a shower. You can get the waterproof speakers. Vacuuming, laundry. The best one is when you're driving to work. You're driving to work, you can be listening to personal development. That's a great time to have it. And then these are the books that I would recommend for anyone to get started. The Compound Effect first, then The Magic of Thinking Big, The Entrepreneurial Roller Coaster, You Are a Badass, GoPro. If you haven't read GoPro, read it. It really talks about conversations and how to handle those conversations and phone calls and that. Go Giver and Rejection Proof. And then again, there's some examples of how to. So the goal here is to what we learn, everything we're learning, we turn it into what we can share on Facebook. So here, these are examples of how we share our personal development. So if you're reading your personal development and you come across something that moves you or makes you think of something else, then that's the moment to share it. Share what you're learning in your personal development as you grow. Those little tidbits of what you're learning help somebody else, right? It could possibly help someone else. And that's what it's all about. And then vital behavior number 4 is recognition. So this is the newest one. And this is recognizing the people around you and your team and your teams as they begin to grow. So recognizing is for anything. So hitting Success Club in the month or hitting a rank advancement. Someone's made a great post. Our team calls and giving shout outs to people. Could be a challenger in your group that's doing really, really well. Maybe it's a challenger in your group that had been struggling earlier in the week and then turned it around and ended up having a great week. All those little small victories really help, and they help your challengers to gain the confidence in themselves, right? It really doesn't matter what the reason is at all, but it's about reinforcing positive behaviors and recognizing people for them. And it simply makes people feel good, right? So sharing, so that's a simple one, recognition. And sharing the coaching opportunity. I think this is one of the biggest ones that a lot of people get stuck on. They don't know how to share the coaching opportunity, but the coaching opportunity is just planting seeds again. So pretty much one post a day, you can weave in the coaching opportunity in there about anything. So I just made a post tonight I just did a little video about being away for Labor Day weekend. And I just talked about, this is why I do this. This is why I bust my ass working 2 jobs so that I can get the freedom that I want, so I can take a day off. Whereas I couldn't take a day off before because I couldn't afford to take a day off, but now I can. Like, it's just sharing that. Like Christina right now, you're off work and not getting paid for it. The coaching opportunity has allowed you to be able to do that without worrying about it, to know that you still have a paycheck coming in. If you've at, somewhere with your kids in an event or something. It could be as simple as, I'm glad I have the opportunity to be here. I can work while I'm still being a part of my kid's life, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's just different ways that you can introduce it, but you can weave it in there. You don't have to have any big kind of things to happen where you can weave in the coaching opportunity and how it's just done something, or maybe it's giving you the opportunity to connect with someone that you haven't connected with in years, just different things like that. So again, I put samples in there for you to look at. And then just to go over the summary of it all, your Facebook is really a way for us to connect to people, right? That's how we connect, is through Facebook and through sharing us. And then as people connect to us, that's when you'll start getting people that'll just reach out to you. You need to be willing to share what you struggle with, what your story is, where you're at now. What are 5 things that define you? Talk about those things. And then remember, you are your brand, not Beachbody. That's just the tool and how we help people. It's you that people follow. You are the reason people follow you on your Facebook. You are the reason someone's going to sign up with you. It's all because of you. It's not Beachbody. That's just our tool to help them get into shape. But it's not. They come to you because they want to be a part of something that you're a part of, right? So this really goes back to what Janet posted about branding of the day. That was a really good sheet that she shared. Thank you for that, Janet, because it was really good. So here's just a couple of quick things, like list of characteristics. What makes you unique? What sets you apart? What are your hobbies? What are you interested in? Are you married? Are you single? Are you dating? You love to ski, fish, hike? Are you motivated, driven, shy, outgoing? Are you a natural leader or a follower? Those are things that you can be talking about. You can, do you love gardening? Do you love hiking? You love going for a bike ride? I don't know, whatever it is that defines you, those are things that you can be talking about, right? If you like fashion, you can talk about that. If you like shoes, people fall into the trap that when they start posting and start coaching, that everything they have to talk about is health and fitness or food. No, it's anything about you, what you like, right? That's how, again, it goes back to how people connect with us. So if you like to go hiking and you're already going out on a hike and you're posting pictures of where you're going for a hike, you're going to attract other people who like to do that. And then you have something to talk about with them. So it doesn't feel weird when you're talking to them, right? The big thing here is don't worry about being fancy. You don't have to be fancy with this. You don't have to have fancy pictures. You don't have to have any logos. You don't have to have a website. You don't have to have any of that stuff. Stick to the vital behaviors and you'll be successful. Give yourself the time and be consistent with it and you will be successful. There's no doubt about it. You will be. Everything else, as you grow, everything else you can learn along the way and you can develop over time. But when you're first starting, you don't need any of that stuff. You don't need to be fancy at all. And you don't don't be comparing yourself to someone else, because you have to do you, because the time that you're putting into it is what you're getting out of it. So if someone else is putting in, working their coaching business 15 hours a week and you're only doing 2 hours a week, then obviously they're going to grow at a different rate than you are. So you can never compare yourself to somebody else. Everybody works this business differently. So you have to really just focus on you and doing what you need to do or what you want to do with this business. And then there's some resources to stay on track. So I've created a daily checklist. I probably may not be able to open this again. Maybe I will. So I created a daily checklist. So it's very, very straightforward. Complete your workout, check it off. Drink your Shakeology, check it off. Listen to your personal development. Friend request 3 to 5 people. Connect with 3 to 5 people. And when I say connect with 3 to 5 people, that just simply means reaching out and say, hey, how was your long weekend? What did you guys do? Just connect with them. Invite 3 to 5 people to join your challenge group. So either you're inviting someone to join your challenge group, maybe to the coaching opportunity, or to a free group, right? And then post your 3 times a day. Have you posted about your 3 times a day? And then did you go outside your comfort zone and grow? You have to be pushing yourself. You got to be pushing yourself in the four vital behaviors. And the other one was the power of 3 tracker. So I also created this one as a power of 3 tracker. So you can use it for each week. So it's adding 3 new friends, connecting with 3 new friends. And the easiest way to do that is add 3 new friends. And if they accept your friend request, then reach out right away to those 3 friends and say, hey, thanks so much for accepting my friend request. That's it. Invite 3 people. You can follow up with 3 people and 3 people that you connected with to the coaching opportunity. So your goals should be to add 3 people a day, invite 3 people to a challenge group, a free one or a paid one, and invite 3 people a week to learn more about the coaching opportunity. And then you personally can set your own monthly goals of what you want to reach. I just did these very, very simply to keep it simple for you so that you can at least get a system set up. The other best way to do this is to, like we started in the month of August, if you use the Go for No tracker, what you can do is each person you talk to, you can write their name in one of these circles so that come October, you can take this sheet and go back and follow up with all those people, right? They become followers. So it's just finding a system that works for you. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. I've been trying to streak. I can't even comprehend streak. So I haven't done it. Maybe that works for you. You have to find what works for you, but you have to be working from a list. You've got to have a list of names and you need to know who you're contacting and what you're doing each day. Check them off the list and you're done for the day. Move on to the next day, talk to your next set of people, right? You can, if you can stay organized, keep this somewhat organized and keep your names together so you don't lose anybody. Okay? And that's it. That's tonight's. Did anyone have any questions?